Good morning, children. This video is for people working in the Obelisk group. Here's your Fluent in 5 starter, so please pause the video and answer the question now. And here are your answers. Today, children, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be doing some problem-solving questions, which will require us to do multiple calculations, a bit of trial and error. Before we actually get the right answer, we won't get the answer right the first time. Now, the questions that I've got here, you've got the same questions, but I'm going to show you how to work it out, but obviously not give you the right answer. We've got two questions here. The first one is 2-digit targets. You have a set of digits from 0 to 9, and there they are. Can you arrange these digits in the 5 boxes below to make 2-digit numbers as close to the targets as possible? You may use each digit once only. Our 5 boxes are largest even number, largest odd number, smallest odd number, largest multiple of 5, and number closest to 50. Now we can do this in a number of ways. We can start off with by looking at the largest even number. Now, if we were to take our largest even number, we could use 98. Now remember, an even number is a number that ends in either 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. Now 8 is the largest even number we can have. Now we could put 8 here, and to make it the largest number, 9 and 8. Now that means we've used these two numbers, so we can't use these ever again, because it says you can only use each digit once. Now the largest odd number, well, our odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9, but because we've used 9 already, we can't use that. So our next largest odd number is 7. And then to make it our largest odd number, we could use the 6, because that's our next largest number left. Now the smallest odd number, we can use odd number would be 1. Now we can put 1 here, and we can put a 0 here. So that is our smallest number. Now it says here a largest multiple of 5. That is, just to let you know, that is the smallest odd number you can possibly get. It may not be the right answer, because there might be another way of doing it, and we're going to have a look at that in a minute. Largest multiple of 5. So a multiple of 5 is a number that ends in either 5 or 0. So we've used a 0, but we have got the 5. So we've got the largest multiple of 5, 45. 35 is smaller, so we can put 45. Now it says here number closest to 50. Well, we've got 2 and 3, so we could have 23 or 32. Now that is one way of getting the answer using all the digits together. However, this here, even though we've used each digit once, we can get our numbers to be the closest to the targets. So as it says here, as close to the targets as possible. There is another way of doing it. Now I personally believe that here, this needs to be closest. Number closest to 50, that's too far away. Okay, so we can do that differently. We've got the option of largest multiple of 5. Well, it doesn't have to be a 5 at the end, it could be a 0. And I'm sure that this could be larger, and that possibly could be smaller. Even though it says largest even number, to allow these to be the closest, that can be smaller. Now, if we do another one, so if we were to start off this time, and let's do the largest even number, and this time we're going to go, we'll use 76. So that's our even number. We could do 89 there, but all we've done there is swap these numbers around. So we actually haven't used any different numbers, but we could potentially, if we were to do something, make this number closer, so we could actually put 45 as our closest number, Or we could, if I just put a line through that, we could do 51 because we've got 5 and 1 left. So that leaves us with 0, 4, 3 and 2. Now we've got, this has to be a multiple of 5, so it has to be either, we have to use the 0, has to be the largest multiple, 40, because we've got 4 and 0, and then we've got 2 and 3 left. So the smallest odd number. Now we must have an odd number in the ones column, so we have to use the 3, and the 2 will go in the tens. Now this again is not a bad shout, but there are closer ways of doing it. This is a much better way of finding the closest target possible because we've got 51 there. But that's one away from 50, but there is a possibility that it could be one less than 50. Now I'm not going to tell you what that number is, but that is a clue. If you start with this number here, number closest to 50, and you do one above greater than 50 and one less than 50, that will be a good starting point. There are different ways, different solutions. As I said, this is a solution here. That is correct, but it's not the closest. So can you, and this is another one, and this is closer because this here is closer to 50. That has a larger odd number than that, but that's a smaller largest even. That's smaller than that number for the largest even number. And then, but this, the smallest odd number, 23, is quite a large small odd number. So even though there are bits that are better, this here and there, these 3 aren't as good as these 3. So you need to go back and just keep trial and error. There are multiple solutions, as I said, multiple answers. So take your time and have a go. Now I want you to do that question first. So pause the video, and then once you come back, we'll do the second question. So the second question of your today's learning is this: you've got it looks different on your worksheet, but this is the question. When Spain played Belgium, the final score was 4-2. What could the score be at half time? Now, it wants you to find all the possibilities. There is a method that you could do. You could find out, what you want to do here is find out all the winning scores that Spain could have, all the winning scores that Belgium could have, and all the draws possibility. Now you must remember that Spain scored 4 and Belgium scored 2. So that means the amount scored on your predictions cannot be greater than 2 for Belgium. What I would suggest, I'm going to start off to give you an example. There are quite a lot of answers, more than 10. I'm not going to tell you how many exactly, but there's more than 10. And it's what could the score be at half time? Now, if we take all the draws, all the possible draws is where both teams got the same amount. So Spain, how I would lay it out, I would write Spain scored 0 and Belgium scored 0. Now that's a possible half-time score because it's less than 4-2. Another draw could be Spain scored 1 and Belgium scored 1. Another draw possibility could be 2-2. Now, there cannot be any more possibilities of a draw because Belgium didn't score more than 2. So if we were to put Spain 3, Belgium 3, that wouldn't be correct because Belgium only scored 2. So they're all the possibilities of a draw. I would now use the same. Now I would start with Spain. So this is that they are correct answers, so you can use that. But now you need to work out all the possible winning scores that Spain could have at half time. And then all the possible winning scores that Belgium could have had at half time. The answers are on the sheet. If you're stuck and you can ask your parent to show you the answer, give you a bit of help. But use this. That will help you. And remember, find all the possible winning scores for Spain and all the possible winning scores to Belgium. Best of luck with that question.